Okay, deep breath. Doesn't that feel nice? My name is Sierra Riddle, and I'm Landon's mother.
My name is Landon.
Landon was diagnosed with aggressive leukemia when he was 2 years old. And unlike a brain tumor or anything else, it's hard to pinpoint the treatment because literally the cancer is all in your blood. There are no options for parents like us. It's literally chemotherapy or chemotherapy. That's it. You have no legs to stand on. You have no say in the treatment, and they tell you it's going to be 4 years of chemotherapy, steroids, and narcotics. Landon did not do well with any of the treatments. It was barbaric for him. It was very hard for him to live at all. He stopped talking, he stopped walking, and his quality of life diminished to nothing. And they're okay with that. They add more narcotics and more morphine and more Oxycontin. There was days I'm a single mom. I would go 5 days without showers, covered in chemotherapy burns, because when he has chemo, all of his bodily fluids are radioactive. So if he cries on me, if he kisses me, if he urinates on me, vomits, it burns me. They told us, we've literally given him so much chemotherapy and radiation that you need to take him home for 2 weeks and let him live in a bubble. He will pass away, he will expire if we try to give him anything else. It was a nightmare, and we started looking for something that could help Landon to survive through the chemotherapy. Thankfully, we were able to relocate from Utah to Colorado. We went and saw a doctor, we got his medical card, and we immediately started giving him the high THC and CBD cannabis oil. We immediately saw results. Landon had gone 28 days without a grain of rice into his mouth. He refused to eat or drink anything, and he was being fed by IV. And asking for food was such a sign for us. So we increased the milligrams, we kept going. And then I started realizing that I wasn't needing to give the Oxycontin as frequently. And not only did he not need it, but he wasn't withdrawing from it. Because even on good days, you have to give the child the Oxycontin because they will withdraw. And it can develop seizures, heart stopping. I mean, there are so many bad things that come from Oxycontin and morphine. We hadn't seen a smile, a laugh to tell me he loved me. Literally, he just laid there and vomited and cried and was dying. Sorry. It was very sad. And at this point, Child Protective Services had tried to take Landon from me. They wanted to force him to have chemotherapy, and it was killing him. This child needs cannabis. He does not need chemo or Oxycontin at 2 and 3 years old. And it took a few months, but we were able to win Landon's right for compassionate cancer treatments. And I have no doubt in my mind that if we wouldn't, Landon wouldn't be here today. So at this point, it was clear to me that they're keeping my kid sick, that they want him to be sick for 4 years, longer than he had even been alive at that point, and on these very dangerous narcotics, that they didn't know what it was going to do to him, to his developing brain. Thankfully, Landon has shattered every stigma or every bad thing associated with it. Landon has consumed more than 5,000 grams of cannabis in his lifetime. He'll be in remission for 5 years this year.
Well, when I had cancer, they had to put a port in me. And this is my star. They pulled it out. It was really hurt.
Yeah. There was so many times that Landon would beg, "Mom, please stop letting them hurt me." Because they don't understand that this is treatment, and it's in the name of treatment. And it's a little bit of suffering now for the long term, but what they don't tell you is most kids don't make it to the long term. So they get to be abused and tortured, and then they die. And none of those doctors would have gone to Landon's funeral. None of them would have lowered his casket into the ground. None of them would have called on his birthday or Christmas to check on me. It would have just been on to the next child. 46 per day, they have enough of them. I think all of us would trade our souls for our kids to have a better quality of life.
One day, I am going to a war against them.
I know. Landon is very, very passionate now about stopping these doctors and stopping cancer, and he talks about fighting them. And, other kids are drawing dinosaurs, and Landon's drawing chemo monsters, that look like doctors. He was the youngest child in Colorado diagnosed with PTSD at 3 years old. Well, we can give him low doses of Ativan or a Xanax. Awesome. I don't want my 4-year-old on Xanax for the rest of his life because of what you did to him. It's just not right. It's not right that they're keeping this healing from us and from our children.
This cannabis makes me feel good. And I'm not going back on the chemo. No, I'm not going back. Me and my mom are staying with cannabis for now until my cancer's gone. Okay, I'm done.
Medication.